Like I said, my name is Jeremy Demers. I am Director of Marketing here at Small World Labs. And I want to thank everyone for joining us today for our online community product tour. So in today's webinar, we'll start off with a brief background of Small World Labs. We'll walk you through a few Small World Labs community examples, show you how Small World Labs customers are using our platform to connect with their members, and then we'll go through more of an in-depth online product demonstration, which focuses on our specific capabilities, and then wrapping up at the end with some questions and answers. So on a quick note, if you have any questions during the call, please just type those into the chat box, direct them to the organizers, and we'll queue those up and take those at the end of the call. All right. So Small World Labs provides an online community platform called Small World Labs Community. We specialize in the association and nonprofit markets. We've had unparalleled success. We'll talk about what we think makes us different and has helped our clients achieve the success rate as part of the webinar. We've also been profiled by several industry publications, including IDC, the Patricia Siebel Group, and others that you can see here at the bottom. At the heart of what we provide is the platform, Small World Labs Community. But we're also big believers of providing the entire solution to our clients. It's not just the technology that makes you successful, but we feel it's what you do with it. So we also have a social business team as well as an ongoing services team that offers support on the product side as well as help with building engagement. Here are some of the clients that we've worked with. As you can see, the big focus here is on the nonprofit association market, primarily in the US, but we also have clients around the world. And at the heart of the platform in the community is that it's a place to bring together your followers, your fans, supporters, members, users, all across different acquisition sources. It can be integrated into your website, a third-party website, or your entire website. It's designed to create a customized experience for your members and offer capabilities for deeper engagement. There are capabilities for social aggregation and sharing, customized profiles providing you with additional member data, activity streams, and all this leads to a significant impact on your search engine optimization. And it's by the way that we've designed the platform, all to help with future member acquisition. Well, we'll show you this in the demo, so I'll go through these quickly, but capabilities around collaboration groups, opportunities to match members with particular opportunities, not only the ability to add files, but also document collaboration, essentially Google Docs within the community. We have events, we have maps, as well as capabilities to help your business operations. So to make your community and your staff be more productive. And I'll go through one quick example of these efficiency improvements in business operations that are enabled by our Action Workflow module. So here we're looking at an application for an opportunity by a member. So for example, say your organization provides medical missions to third world countries. Well, you're going to want volunteers, but you're also going to want to make sure that they're qualified. So you create this application for potential volunteers. Well, once it's complete, this gets routed to one of several potential staff members who are in charge of reviewing and approving it. And then if the application is approved, a series of automated actions take place. First, it sends the applicant a message about the approval. We add the applicant to a collaboration group. We then notify the program leader of the application group through email, adding the program leader as a contact for that approved applicant. And then finally, we recognize the applicant by adding a badge to their profile. So all of these things are truly great and necessary to build engagement, but they all take time. However, with our Action Workflow module, these can all be automated. So next we have capabilities for knowledge sharing and discussion, or discussion within the community. But we take it to the next level by enabling social aggregation, sharing in articles, sharing out with social sharing, and tracking included. And we'll show you what that is a bit later. Here we have multiple forms of user-contributed content to give your members the ability to participate, access through multiple platforms, multiple devices, multiple languages. And all this is easy to manage, update, and control. We've done a really great job of designing the admin portion of the platform such that non-technical employees can manage everything through drag and drop, point-click type real-time updates. Our platform is also open and extensible. So we have a fully public API that's available on our website at smallworldlabs.com/API that can be used to integrate with any other membership database, CRM, CMS, or other application that your organization is currently using. And because our API is open, that integration can be created by Small World Labs, your technical team, or even a trusted third-party resource. Here on the screen you can see some of the applications that we already have integration with. And with that, I'll go ahead and shift over to the online demo portion of the webinar. So as mentioned at the beginning, we're now going to go into several client examples. We're not going to go into too much detail on any of these because the focus is more to show the breadth of how people are using the Small World Labs community platform. So here we're looking at the Institution of Engineering and Technology, or the IET. The IET is actually the largest member-based organization in the United Kingdom. And what you see here is their online community, which they've established, and they've named My Community. We've integrated with their AMS, or Member Management Database, which in their case, being technologists, they built in-house. So we've used their system in the Small World Labs API to put into place single sign-on, profile data syncing, so that users, once they're credentialed, are logged in across systems. So I'm in their member database, but if I were to go to other areas of their site, for example, events or get involved, resources, membership, it continues the logged in experience. And then if I go back to the community, it's a seamless experience. So a couple additional items, and I'll scroll down real quick to show you how they designed their membership dashboard. So we have messages over here, their communities, which are their collaboration groups. We have an activity stream and the ability to filter all activity, my activity, contacts activity. We have my contacts over here. We have announcements here in the middle, a VP's blog, as you can see. Support here. We're showing some of the recent forum posts and much more. So each member, as you would expect, has a profile and everything else that you expect to go along with that. So next I'll start going into more of the unique areas. So for the IET, they want to provide members not only with the ability to network, but more so the ability to collaborate online. And one of the ways they're doing this is through their .create, or document collaboration tool. So I'm going to go in and take a look at this. So this is, aside from having the ability to upload files, it's the ability to create and edit in real time with other collaborators. It's sort of like Google Docs within your own environment. So I'll pull up one of these example documents. Oops, clicked on the wrong one. So what I'm going to show you is a case for voltage optimization. So obviously material that is closely related to their membership audience. And if we scroll down, we can see the results of what these collaborators have created. And you can see there's several of them here. And you can also see that we're on version 7, so we have versioning. And then finally at the end you can see that they've actually published the results into the file gallery. So how do they do this? Well, let me go ahead and show you. I actually created an example document for this webinar. Go into my documents, and it's called Annual Review. And you can see it's a meeting agenda for an annual review coming up, and we have several pieces of information here. And if I were to want to go in and edit it, all I have to do is click the edit button, real-time editing. See that I have it checked out now for editing. I can come in here, say I want to type in update to this. I can have control the different formatting options, spacing. I can also add in videos, images, diagrams if I wanted to. So that I want to save those changes. And then also looking at it from an administration standpoint, I can set permissions for it. So do you want to make the document public so that anyone within the community can see it, or do I want it private, meaning that if anyone wants to make changes to it, I have to approve those individuals, or hidden, which means it's invite only. I can also invite collaborators to join in with with me on this document. As you can see, we're working on projects together. There's 2 other collaborators, Michael Wilson, Ken Aponte, and even I can even actually come in here and create tasks for these other collaborators. So what I'm going to do is create a task. I'm going to say review the latest version, and I'm going to assign that to Ken Aponte. Tell him a date it needs to be due by, and then I would assign that task. So again, the ability to pass off or to include other individuals in the collaboration of a document. Something that one of many capabilities that we've come across that was very important for IET and that we put into place for them. And they're also using some more traditional areas, such as blogs, and they make these available to their members. We can take a look at one. Discussions as well. And here we'll look at a few discussions. Resources. Here we actually have a resource mashup, or combination across videos, files, photos, as well as the ability to dig down and review each individual area. I could go into members, and then finally I could go into groups or communities, they call them. And this is actually where the bulk of their activity takes place. They're organized into categories. So as you can see, we have committees, their geographical categories, specialists, technical, and even young professionals. And then if I dig into any specific group, here I'll look at the IET Women's Network. I have got capabilities for essentially a community within a community. All of these different collaboration types, options, we have these available, and the administrator can turn them on or off to tailor them to the needs of the group. So I'll scroll down a little bit and you can see a little, we have the group information here. We have some highlight videos. We have a widget which integrates with Facebook, recent blog posts. Also over here, a widget that integrates with Twitter, and more activity. And actually, another cool resource is a poll here specifically designed for their community. So that is the Institution of Engineering Technology. Next community I'm going to show you is the American Heart Association's Professional Online Network. And this is a membership community for their cardiologists, their nurses, EMTs, and other paid members of that organization. And you can see it's a very different look and feel. So first of all, it's integrated with the existing web presence and web experience. Integrating communities with websites helps to facilitate cross-traffic. And so on the Professional Online Network, sits this organization's website. So here across the top, we look at statement and guidelines, sessions, education, research. This is actually running off of their main primary website CMS, which is built off of Oracle. So if I were to click, say, statements and guidelines, for example, this is running off a different system and managed by a different department. Then I can go straight back into the Professional Online Network, and I'm back and ready to engage in the community. So some other consistent items. We're using the same user avatar across the top. Just one of many options, as well as a different look and feel. So we have a navigational path to activity on their site. We have a slider here that's pointing to several primary items. Welcome to the PON, councils, scientific sessions, resources, etc. But we also have navigation that's organized on the right side here. Of course, we could have put the navigation up top through a drop down or otherwise, but for this site, it looks best on the right. So now we're going to go into scientific sessions. So the American Heart Association brings together its members for networking, discussions, collaborations, but events. Events primarily is the driver for their overall revenue model. It has a series of events throughout the year. We can actually come here, click on Archives, So just some of the past events that we've had. And getting the members to attend these events makes a big difference to the organization. So here you can see, like I said, a list of events they've had throughout the past several years. I'm going to go ahead and click on one event. This is the ATVB 2013 conference. And again, this is all running on Small World Labs platform. And I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of how they use the community to drive events, pre, during, and post. So here we're looking at a conference that took place in 2013, and we've got a mashup page. We're pulling together information about the event, so you can see that the event took place in May here in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. And that means that we're in the post-conference event period, so the follow-up period. But then we're using what's called auto search capabilities to design blocks that automatically bring in content about an event, an interest, or topic automatically as it's added. So we're pulling video interviews from the conference, and we can even manage the vertical allocation. Right now we're displaying 2 at a time and providing the ability to scroll through. So you can see there's numerous video interviews here that they performed. Also below that we have social linking and connections with several different social platforms. News that was debuted at the conference. Conference relevant groups as well. So for the American Heart Association, they call these scientific councils and committees. And then as you move down the page, and again, all these are relevant to the engagement experience about that particular event. So if I were to go back to the home page, let's go back to my home, and scroll down, you can see that they've organized this page in their own particular fashion. Different look and feel, completely from the IET. It highlights news, networking activity, sharing with colleagues, adding your thoughts, but then they also have discussions down here. And I'll actually click on one of the discussions to give you an example of how they perform these. So I'll click on this discussion. Oh, sorry, wrong. All right, so now here we're looking at a particular discussion topic. So you can tell it's CPR verified needs to be fixed. And this particular individual is saying that it's horrible, it's not user friendly. These are comments that you probably get time and time again, but you want to receive those comments. You don't want those to go unheard, and you want to address those comments. It's always going to be the best follow-up situation. And what you can see here is that we have hot linking. So we don't just link to pages, but we click. When I clicked on the previous link, it took me straight to the post I was viewing. So it does in-page viewing. So if you click on the 10th reply to that topic, it's going to go straight to that reply, and then you can just scroll up and look at that topic from top to bottom. So let's see what we got here. As I said, this particular topic is about CPR verifying needs to be fixed. We have several different individuals who've commented on it below the original comment. And we're going to show you a couple capabilities or abilities that we've added into the platform to make engagement that much better. So one thing you'll notice about this is that there are a couple files that have been added. It looks like somebody wanted to insert something about the particular topic that would be useful. And what most other platforms do is that they'll put these topics or they'll put these files right where the replies were. So as you can see, it is right here in the reply. Mohammed added a couple different files. But what happens is if you get into a multi-page situation where you have several different pages, you want to make sure that you bring those files to the top, because a lot of times the files, that's going to be important content as opposed to an incremental post. So what we've created here on the side is a block that's easy to put into place that actually brings all of those files out for you. So as you can see, CPR verify instructor, CPR verify student. So if I'm coming into this topic, I can come right over to the files and take a look at that. And also I have the ability to subscribe to the topic. Up here I can reply to it, I can bookmark it, and then if I'm not ready to add to the discussion but I like it, I have easy engagement options. So I can like it, and I'll do that now, and I can even share it socially. So here I'll go through the steps because we have some really great integrated social sharing which helps to drive engagement, energy, and future membership acquisition. So I'm going to go ahead and click the share button here on Facebook. As you can see, this brings the share out to my Facebook page, and I can include my comments. I could, say something like, "What do you think of this?" Now, when I bring the link in, it does a couple things that you'd expect. It shares it with my Facebook page, but beyond that, it actually builds engagement on the community. So I'll go ahead and share the link. I'll go back to my home, take a look at the activity, and as you can see, the most recent activity is that I shared this link on my Facebook page. So it's great because it can build engagement inside and outside of your community. So other options in the discussion area real quick. I'm looking at the discussion's topic view, but I can also revert back to a more traditional category view if I'd like to. Or I can look at discussions based on popularity if I'd like to as well. So one last thing about the Professional Online Network. I mentioned that we integrated with their CMS, which is Oracle, but we also integrated with their CRM, which is Siebel. Okay, moving on to the next community, and that is AORN, or the Association of Perioperative Registered Nurses. And this community is actually integrated with their AMS, which is IMUS. And what you can see here, we have integration into their main website, but a different look and feel altogether. Here, a lot of focus are on the topics. So rather than dropping straight into an activity feed, we want to route users into certain areas. Here, 10 different topics off the top, but I'm going to go ahead and look at one. I'll look at documentation. This routes me to another example of that auto search capability where I clicked on documentation, and it's pulling in resources from multiple content types that are all about documentation. So here, automatically returning those results set from files, resources about documentation, as well as discussions down here at the bottom. So it all makes it easier for me to find what I'm looking for versus having to just share out or search for it. So groups for AORN, again, this is a big area for them in terms of engagement. I think they have something like 300 or 400 of these. Categories across the top. Here we're using tabs in addition to a side nav as well. And then capabilities at a group level. So you can see some of these common interest categories. So rounding out the examples real quick, I'll show you a couple more clean cook stoves. Now, as you can tell, this is a different look and feel. It's all to demonstrate the flexibility of the platform. Here we're looking at a community for the United Nations Foundation. So it's a different target audience, different needs, different style. Here they have a map you can actually scroll in. This is a partner directory, so if you want to find a partner near you, you can always just scroll in and find one. Also, go back to their main page. You can see, as I said, different look and feel. And then, last example is care. And from a look and feel perspective, just to show you that the flexibility of the platform and how we can optimize the experience for the target audience. So with that, I'll go ahead and go into the more traditional platform demo. So this is a demo site that we've set up to help demonstrate the platform. We have a lot of different options here. It can look a little crowded, but it's only because we want to show you exactly what the platform holds. So rather than focusing on the experience, though, we're going to focus on the capabilities. So to facilitate that, we've laid out different capabilities across the top, like I said. So rather than being by topic or function, we have members, we have groups, discussions, events, and so forth. So you can see we're logged in as Soledad. Here we have a quick link to messages. And we can click in here and see that she's received some private messages from other members, and you can respond to those. You can also go into the account, manage the account information, also the privacy information, what I want to be available to whom, notifications, I can manage those. And then I can also manage the content that I've uploaded, my connections. I can see that several different documents in here. I can click on her friends, see that she has several friends. But we use the term friends in here, but we also have a nomenclature editor, which allows us to manage the verbiage across the site. So this can be anything. Go back to view the profile, and there's her profile. So here we're also using badging to really announce what kind of member she is. So Soledad is a level. She's an advocate level, which tells you that she's earned 275 points, and she's on step 2 of 10. She has social graphs, she has connections, an activity stream here in the middle, and then even the ability to come in here, edit her profile from this page, activity stream, and then more badges at the bottom. So if I look at the profile information, we do a really good job again with the user experience, browsing, with searching. So if I come across any relevant profile attribute, say city, I'd like to search other members from Austin, it returns a result set through just point and click. So here you go, Austin. Alright, now back to the home. So also great capabilities around personalization. So I'll just scroll down a little bit, and you'll get a view of what I'm seeing when I'm logged into Soledad. So I'm seeing an application across the top here with a call to action, an activity stream. I have personal bookmarks as well over here. Recommended volunteer opportunities. Where the organization has some, you can tell that the organization has some recruiting that they're looking to do. We have recommended advocacy actions. So if the organization has advocacy or public policy element to it, here are the recommended actions for their members. And then what appears here in the volunteer management opportunity, volunteer management, you can see Nicaragua, Guatemala, is that it's doing a matching based on the attributes of the user for doing a recommended activity and in between the profile information that I've stated about myself. So this is based on intelligent matching. We also have my groups and so forth. So now I'm going to switch windows here real quickly and show you another user. This is Karen Jones. You can tell that Karen is a staff member, but you can also tell that she has a different look and feel. She doesn't have this application across the top asking if she wants to apply for anything. And that's managed by easy point-and-click personalization. So if we go back to Soledad, you can see the different look and feel here. Calling out, since she's a volunteer, you want to try to get her to apply for training. So we can actually go ahead and click into this. And you can see this is the application form for Soledad. And the last thing I want to touch on here is the area of badging. And because badging is really great from an engagement perspective, at building out the engagement pyramid, the engagement ladder, giving people a clear understanding of what we're hoping that they'll do for us. So badges are based on activity level. They could also be based on the number of logins, They could base them based on joining a group, or even badges based on activities that take place in integrated applications. So here, if we look at this badge, the organization is obviously utilizing donations. So if the user were to donate on the integrated third-party platform, we pull it in here. Alright, so going across the top, a number of different options for displaying and connecting members. We'll go ahead and click into members. So here we have a couple different blocks. We're looking at latest members right now. We have a particular block around particular types of members, community group leaders, so it pulls that out for us. We can browse members, top contributors over here, and then even a geographical view on the bottom. So there's obviously a lot of different options that we've used to create the right experience. So say we want to search members, and we have the traditional search capability, but we can search across all areas of the platform's the member profile. So let's say we're searching for folks that have stated that they have that they're available to mentor, and I have an expertise with nursing. So we also have compound searching and location-based searching as well. So continuing on the theme of searching, so here we're just looking at search from a membership directory perspective. So I can type in something like health here, which is obviously going to be relevant within this community. And a successful and active community is going to produce a lot of content. And to make that content as valuable as possible, you really have to have great search. And we kind of feel that we have great, tremendous search capability. So I just searched for the generic term health, and we're looking at, oops, go back here, typed it into the wrong bar. Alright, so we just searched for health, and you're looking at the results set. And as you can see, this is all the information from the different platform, but we can also drill down if we'd like to on different areas. We could say just discussions around health. We could say discussions in files if we'd like to. And this brings in those different pieces of information for us. Not only that, but it's going to bring out the relevant pieces of content that make engagement better for your community. So as you can see, we pull out the image here because it's easier to view an image than it is to read it. We also put in the title, description information here around the search term, and then metadata. Who was it contributed by? Here at the bottom. What area was it contributed in? And then that it was in a discussion, but I could also search down and find the file right here if I wanted to. Has date information, category information if relevant, and then event engagement information. And this type of organization helps me determine without having to click in and click back. And that's really what I'm looking for. So now I'll go over to discussions. And I'll skip over groups because we'll come back to that at the end. But recent topics, recent posts, search options here as well if we wanted to search. We can have a broader search across all areas of the content as well as a micro-targeted search. So if I search for health, it's going to bring up the results set specifically for discussions. And like I said before, I could always add in different categories if I'd like to. Now, if I click in one of these, as you can see, I have the engagement options. I can like it, I can reply it, I can subscribe to the topic for instant or daily alerts. I'm also going to go ahead and click on the reply here. So here you can see that we have rich text editing options, And we've done a good job of, if you're replying in a discussions area, one of the things, one of the top complaints is, well, shoot, I can't remember what I was just replying to. I can't remember what that person said. So what we do is we bring in to the same page into a window that I can scroll down. So it makes it easier to find exactly what I'm looking for. So the last thing we're going to show you around discussions is that what we call sharing capabilities. Go back to discussions. And this is a really cool feature of our platform. So let's say that I'm a member of the American Health Society or your organization's community. And I'm looking around on the internet and I browse through CNN and I find an article that's really relevant to the community. And I think, boy, the friends back in the community would really enjoy this, or maybe be a great discussion back there. So all I have to do is click on a button, a bookmark, share on the American Health Society. It brings up a pop-up window here and allows me to bring this back into the community. And the great thing is that all the technical stuff under the hood is all worked out, so all we have to do is click on make a few selections here. Select a category. We'll say this is health education. I can see that the topic here is automatically put in. I can add it to an existing topic, or I can make it just a new topic. I'm going to make it a new topic. This title is a little bit long, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this in section. I can go ahead and make a comment, say, what do you think about this? I can go ahead and change the thumbnails from CNN Health to something more relevant, and I can go ahead and post. And this is going to go ahead and close in 5 seconds, but I'm going to close it out, save some time. Go back to the community. Go back to discussions. And as you can see that I just posted this, it just shows that I just posted this on the community. I can click in it and it brings in all the relevant information. So it shows the user, shows the title that we put in here. It really separates my comments about the article from the article itself, and then if I click on the link to the article, it takes me to that article in a new link. So really great functionality as far as engagement. So I'll go ahead and go back. And now I'll show you events. So other capabilities that we have, events for example, having events, as I mentioned, can be very significant for several organizations. We have RSVP capabilities. We also have mapping capabilities. We can select a specific event and show you, here's the RSVP, are you going? Where is it locating? It has comments, it has the attendees. We could add a specific event comment in here if we wanted to. Go back up. Next would be blogs. And a blog could be just for the organization. We could make it for all members, or somewhere in between where only selected members are able to blog. Videos, in the user contributed content area. So we have videos. We also have photos. And in here we're doing more of a traditional photo gallery, as we're featuring some photos here across the top. So there are some images that are selected by the administrator, and then we're utilizing another block here for the top photo contributors. So you can see Soledad, Miles Sims, both top photo contributors. And then pulling in on an automatic basis the users who've, other users who've contributed on a regular basis. You can also see comments, you can see tags, search capabilities, the ability to upload photos, all where it should be. We can go over to DocCreate, which is the inline documentation collaboration tool that we talked about earlier with the IET. And then the area on the far right here is actually an interest page. So this is, rather than being a specific area or function, it's an area of content aggregation. So we're automatically pulling in content related to health education here from across the platform. So making it well organized to the member. So here it's health education news across the top. We also have videos over here, as well as documents on the other side, and then so on and so forth. So the ability to create interest pages, and through doing an auto return on keyword or tag or any other attribute, automatically populating the page. So now I'm going to go back to groups, which I had mentioned before. And these are collaboration groups, which essentially is a community within a community. We have different categories here, so they're customizable. We have chapters, interest-based, local sponsored students training. We have mapping or a visual representation or option here. If we scroll down a little bit more, we'll look at a particular group. And I'll take a look at, say, the American Health Society of Texas. So here we're looking at a local chapter, obviously. It has its own activity feed. It has admins, has group information, membership directory, all the things that you would expect to help build concentrated engagement and collaboration between this group. So go back to groups, and beyond that, we also have other type options for different groups. So if you're considering creating sponsor groups or type of group that you want a little bit more differentiation for, we'll give you one example. And click on the Innovator Circle. So here we're looking at, again, this is the same platform, same functionality, but different stylistic options to help this stand out a bit. And here the group is called the Innovator Circle, and it's sponsored by 3M. So 3M probably pays to help lead this, help underwrite this. And then they're running a program, the Quarterly Innovators Challenge, that's related to this specific group. So different look and feel, call-out options, even within the community. So now what I'm going to show you, go back to the community, and we're going to go ahead and jump into the back end of the platform. Go ahead and close out a couple tabs here. So we're showing the back end of the platform to show you how we feel it's easy to get around and manage all of this. So right now we're looking at the My Home page here, and then if you click on a tab, we go back to the admin panel. So I'm in one area of the admin panel that gives us a point and click, easy to use, real-time updates for this specific My Home page. And I can do things like modify the page title, I can modify the URL, the description, I can change the page layout if I wanted to. There's 6 different custom layouts or out-of-the-box layouts, but we also have the ability to change that through CSS. We have version controls here, so we can roll back to a previous version if we make a mistake. We can decide to add member segments if we wanted to. As you can see, several of those. And then, as we scroll down a little bit further, you can get into elements of the page. I can drag things, for example. Right now on the right side of the page I have my photo at the top. I have the AHS staff badge right above that. But say I want to put the staff badge at the top. I want to make that the most prominent. Easy drag and drop access to that. I could also change, say if I wanted to remove my messages, I could do that right here. Simple. I could also add a block if I wanted to. So we have easy point and click availability to thousands of different out-of-the-box options, all available to help build engagement. So let's go ahead and see real-time modification. And if you remember, I went ahead and moved my photo down below AHS staff badge. Just go up to the top, save this. I could also preview it if I wanted to, but I'm just going to go ahead and save it. Back to My Home. and it will automatically move that staff badge to the top. So as you can tell, it's real-time modifications. And the last here I'll go ahead and take a look at here within the admin panel. We've got great point-and-click type management capabilities, like we have available here. But I'm going to go into an area that we talked about earlier, one that powers the action workflow capability that I described earlier. Alright, so here is where we can set up things like if A, then automatically do B. Now, action triggers from across the platform. So I've designed a workflow here, which is, you can see, assign approved trainee leaders to youth leaders group. It's going to do that automatically. It's also going to add youth group leaders, admin as a connection. It's going to volunteer application approve, and then it's going to set up an event RSVP waiver. If I wanted to, I could add another action workflow. Just like before, this is point and click. I have the availability to add hundreds of different options here, out of the box options to help increase engagement and help your community really perform without you having to be in there doing everything yourself. So I'll go ahead and go back now. So we'll round it out by taking a look at the admin panel. There's several other capabilities that we're not going to go through. We don't really have time to show all of them. But we also have the ability to create segments of users to optimize that personalization if we'd like to. We can go to the segments manager. As you can tell, there's almost infinite number of possibilities here. We could go and search for certain members if we wanted to. We could find one particular individual, say this individual, find her personal information if we needed to come in here and change something about this user. Say we needed to change her password. We had a request for that, or maybe she had asked to not be searchable anymore. We could always unclick that. As well as abilities to see more of how she's used the platform. So we can come in, we can see her activities that she's done while she's been here within the community. We can see her subscriptions, her participations, her segments, and if she's an admin, we can go ahead and change some of the settings around that. So like I said, lots of different options within the panel that I'm not going to be able to get to right now, but I think the main point of view is that there's a wealth of capabilities. It's all available through easy point and click, drag and drop. So you don't have to be a technical person to really come in here, understand the platform, and manage and modify this. And then also you have the ability to respond real time to build engagement. So with that, I'll just go back to the slide deck real quick for a couple final slides. So we showed you different client communities for a reason, and that's because while we believe the technology within our platform is really fantastic, it's what you do with it that matters. And because that's, we've developed a team in a practice at Small World Labs to help lead our clients through the community creation process, focusing on the social business strategy, the configuration, looking for organizational goals, purpose-based interactions and outcomes, organizational workflows that can be optimized, and then mapping all of that to the Small World Labs community platform. On an ongoing basis, we have the expertise and the support necessary to do whatever it takes to build that engagement and success. So whether it's strategy, look and feel, configuration, membership acquisition, or more traditional engagement, or even return on investment analysis. Then from a platform perspective and an organizational perspective, we're focused around how do we help your organization optimize that engagement pyramid? How can we bring in more potential members and then move them up the ladder from first joining as an observer, going to a follower, then an endorser, then a contributor, then an owner, and finally a leader. All of which to further the mission of your organization. And as you can see, we've had great success doing this. So here you can see some of the examples that organizations have achieved with Small World Labs. As you can see, we have 437% increase in revenue per person. One client, 228% increase in volunteer hours, 78% increase in member-to-member referrals. Also, another client experienced 49% increase in retention. So across the board, we've produced great results for several of our clients. And with that, I'll go ahead and launch the Q&A portion of our webinar. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to type those into the chat box, direct those to the organizers, and we'll go ahead and take those now.